Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings, I am that I am. Christopher Vivace, your host. You're listening to Power of Infinite Now Awareness Radio Experience. It is July 28th. Jeez. Wow, that's crazy. July 28th, and we're in 2010, of course. Amazing things are just occurring and continually occur. At each moment, there's this new level of realizations and getting deeper into this concept of these source core plasma realizations, and we're in moment 13 actually. I am thinking about making this an actual 15-day series or 15-moment series, or all the way to Friday, so which should be a couple more days. So this is it's like Wednesday today, so Thursday, Friday, that would make it 15 actually. And then start going into more of the technology, bringing in guest speakers, and just going into a new level. I'm actually working on some charts and some things too, so some really interesting things that are occurring with this. If this is your first time listening, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff that I have basically given moment to moment through my own experience. How we talk about how these realizations, going into these realizations, opens you up to deeper levels of connection, deeper levels of interlinking to this omnipresent source core self, this infinite being that you express as. We go through many, many layers of our existence. We get trapped. A lot of times we go into information overload. We go into belief systems, not even knowing they're belief systems. A belief system is something that you're holding on to. It's an idea that does not allow you to expand. It has a certain protocol. It has a certain construct. It leaves you limited. You can study a modality, you can study religion, you can study just about anything, but if you get stuck in that, what happens is it becomes your belief system. It becomes your reality. So we're entering into, a lot of us are really waking up and coming to the inner and outer understanding that we don't just exist as this physical being, but even beyond that, because a lot of spiritual people, a lot of light workers, get trapped, again, to thinking like there's only a certain amount of dimensions, or there's just a certain part of you that you connect to, and that's it. But it goes even beyond that. See, each self-discovery leads to a new layer of just a deeper experience. Everything that's happening in the universe is just energy flowing. It's experience. Whether it's a black hole experience or a Stargate experience, and the other words I use is ascension or descension, so several different ways to say it, to say the same thing, to go deeper into those layers. It's just energy. It's pure energy. And we talk about first contact, and we're going into the levels of first contact. First contact is really the mirror of your awareness. Everybody has their own experience dealing with extraterrestrials or dealing with their own higher self. Or the more you are awakened in each moment, the more memories you have connected to these higher existences that you exist in already. All this is already happening in real time. This isn't something we have to create. We just remove and transform our current perception levels. Perception levels, if you look at geometry, you can see in geometry how the mathematics and how the geometry itself has many ways to perceive itself as. You can go from a square, you can go into a pyramid, you see all these different correlations on how the geometry connects and tells a story. Because it's all about opening up your perception, opening up new layers of consciousness. It's just not, okay, this is what you do. You meditate 15 times or 15 minutes a day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, it goes beyond that. It goes into the actual connectiveness and the interlinking process, connecting to, being, expressing. See, when you're the expressionist, you're in a state of infinite potentiality because you are not a guru, you are not a master, you are not a teacher, you are an expressionist. Expressionist is an equal balance between teacher and student because, truthfully, since you are a mirror of yourself, every aspect that you look at is the teacher and the student. See, when you perceive yourself from a higher perception, you're looking at yourself from a higher dimension or a higher octave or a higher plane of existence, and you communicate directly in third density with this other part of yourself, then you're playing both roles. You're seeing yourself as the teacher and you're seeing yourself as the student at the exact same time, which is this is simultaneous. Simultaneous synchronization. Simultaneous synchronization is also the simultaneous action of all timelines entering into one timeline. Because time and space, again, as I continually telling you this, is just a perception level. When you're coming from third density, time and space look like it's linear. Looks like it's something that is it's organized around our lives, and we see time and we see space and we work around that. But in the actuality, when you keep going further into time and space, you get to see the actual perception levels that it exists as out of a finite construct. In an infinite construct, time and space are expressive. It connects to everything. It's bendable. See, and the way you can measure this is you can actually, there's several examples, but you can be standing in one spot and you can connect through your thought, through your emotional body, through all these different avenues of connecting and increasing your own awareness and your own power. You can see that you can travel from point to point to point. You can perceive from a different perspective. You can switch roles. The more practice you have at that, the easier it is for you. It's just like everything. Since everything's broken down to energy, it carries information. If it carries information, it has a story to tell, just as you have a story to tell. Getting into past, getting into future, and getting into different constructs that consist of the past and future puts you into a pattern system, puts you into a belief structure, puts you into a limited state. As I talk about and I go into the concept of the actual, the New World Order, or, the whole, the idea of a light being or a dark being or a light worker, any of this stuff, if you look at the actual concept behind this, if you look at a light worker is focused just on the light. They're here to love, be lovey-dovey, do this, do that, etc., etc. But what happens is you resist the dark. You see the dark as evil. That name, light worker, shows that you are in this deharmonization state where you are in a battling mode. Now, if you are in a battling mode and you find the dark to be dark and you to be light, and you're constantly having to fight for this, then you're constantly